In this video, we're going to talk about the one type of video you need in order to blow up your business. But not just about what that video is, we're also going to talk about how to structure and create that video too. Let's go. Hey there, Jamie here, and on behalf of the Klippyo team, welcome back to our video series where we're discussing video, but more specifically, the types of video you should be creating to drive more profit and more click-worthy video views into your business. In the last video, we discussed the state of the video marketing industry, and essentially what's working right now when producing video content. In this video, we're going to discuss the video content in a bit more detail and talk about how to create the one video you should be creating right now to drive more clicks, more traffic, and more sales on any product or service that you're offering. So Daryl, in the first video, we discussed briefly on the type of video content you should be producing, but for anybody that didn't see that, or just to refresh a few memories, what type of video, if there's one video you should create as a business, what type of video is that?
Yeah, for me, it's a social video.
And to kind of take that a bit further then, and kind of briefly remind everybody what type of video that is, can you explain what a social video is, but also why that type of video is so important?
Absolutely. You know, before we do that, there's a lot of people that just pick up a camera and start recording, and that could be one of the worst things that you could ever do. Yeah. And there are stages, like you mentioned. There's a stage of preparation, there's a stage of production, there's a stage of post-production, and then there's a stage for distribution. And each one of those stages are outright critical, and they work in harmony together to really get your video being seen.
So you've mentioned quite a few stages to creating one of these types of videos. So I suppose we start at the very beginning. You mentioned preparation. Can you take us through what that means in relation to creating one of these?
Yeah, and it's really interesting because a lot of people, they're more about doing instead of preparing. And I found that if you really want to succeed, it's about the preparation of knowing exactly what you're going to do, how you're going to execute it. So I always like to really start to figure out why I'm making the video. It should have a very specific purpose. I think it'd be really relevant to actually have you go through this process with me. Okay. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just say that you're trying to sell some merch, okay?
Yeah.
And you're trying to sell it on social media. You have some product or whatever, okay? So tell me someone that you really know really well. Besides Joey and David.
My brother.
Okay, so your brother David. Okay.
Chris.
Okay, brother Chris. Okay, so Chris, he probably loves football, right?
Yeah.
Does he have a team?
Liverpool.
Liverpool, okay. And is there an opposing team that it's just a rivalry?
There's a couple, probably the biggest one's Manchester United, which everyone knows.
Okay, so Liverpool, Manchester United. Yeah. Okay, so there's like some natural friction.
Heavy rivalry.
Okay. So first thing is okay, if we're gonna actually create a video, we need to have a purpose of that video. The number two is we need to identify our audience. Who do we want watching this video? So I would say it would be people that are like hardcore Liverpool fans,
yep,
like your brother.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we need to start breaking down of some of the things that they kind of rally around that would get them excited.
Yep.
And what would be one of those things that you'd think?
Well, beating Manchester United or scoring goals, or if we think of players, maybe Mohamed Salah, who's Liverpool's best player, maybe him scoring against United, I don't know.
Yeah, you could do different clips like that, but even talking about just why they love, Liverpool, right? And the essence behind it. So I like to try to identify a couple things. These are bullet points of what would really that person that would be watching this video really resonate with.
Yep.
And then two, I do research. Like I want to go out there and even know how well I know someone, I'm like, what else is going on out there? So I do some research online, trying to see if there's anything that's trending, especially when it's dealing with the topic at hand. So like for Liverpool, is there anything that's going on that would be in the news that would be relevant to the video today? So when you actually have those bullet points of things that would actually get them excited or something that's going on, I then try to think of what value can you actually bring that individual. So there's like 3 ways that you can actually bring value with video content. You can aspire, you can educate, or you can entertain. And sometimes when you're really good, you can do all three at the same time, or you can do two of them. That's when you're really, really good, when you're really giving it a lot of thought in it. Now, that being said, once you do that, I try to figure out what value you're gonna bring to your intended viewer. And in that video, I try to bring those bullet points and then bring some type of value. So whether it's like creating loyalty to his team or talking how bad the other team is, that's some value that he'll actually find. And what's the first thing that you think that he's gonna do once he feels that connection with the video?
Probably share the video.
He's gonna share it with not only one person, but he's gonna share it with everybody that really likes what's going on, you know? And so that right there is outright critical. Then the next thing is really trying to explain what would be a great hook. Because like you literally only have a few seconds to grab his attention. And I'm like, okay, what can we do to grab his attention without sound within 1 to 3 seconds? You know, and maybe it's a caption above the video that says, you know, Liverpool sucks. That I think he would watch that video.
Yeah, he would do,
You know what I'm saying? And I think that he'd have to be sucked in as he try to figure out what's going on in that video. So it's like getting those hooks. And then two, there's those natural hooks within the video itself. Like you gotta reinforce whatever that title is. And so I give that some thought. And